Microphone.
Good evening, Mr. Shalom. My name is Larry Jasper, and as a member of the Board of Trustees here at the County BethChaimChannel, it's an honor to welcome you to this evening's services. We want to maintain a warm and welcoming feeling for those of these services and create a safe space for prayer. Please help us by turning off all cell phones at this time. For the benefit of those who do not here in the sanctuary, we do live stream our service, and our photographer posts pictures to social media. Please see us or a board member if you have your picture here. We ask that no one else take pictures during the service. For those who are wearing hearing aids with a T-coil setting, you will be able to access our new hearing loop using the setting. Headphones for those who do not have the compatible hearing aids and large tonight. But the hearing aids are available in the rear sanctuary. So as we prepare to begin worship, another word or two. The entire service this evening will be on the screen in front of you. You'll see that there are a number of small tweaks in worship that we've made to enhance the health of all while still being able to come together as a community for those who wish. So these changes are in part because they directly do help with health, and part to be different to remind us that we do have to make those changes in the world around us, because ultimately our greatest value is pikuach nefesh, to do everything possible for health and safety of ourselves and those around us. So we invite you please to join with us in Shalom Aleichem, found
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malchuri l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי השלום. כי מלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Our service continues with the honor of lighting candles and Kiddush as we invite tomorrow's bat mitzvah, Robin Wachtel, surrounded by the love of her family, to the honor of lighting candles and Kiddush. Please come forward. Amen. Amen. So those of you who are regulars know that on a normal Shabbat, we would begin worship at this time, pray the first couple of sections of the service, and then have a chance for a Devar Torah, a sermon, or a few thoughts, and then finish the service. Again, to change things up a little bit, as we have a couple of times, I want to share a few words first, and then I promise we're going to pray the rest of the service through, so you're not going to get hit with a second sermon. So when I arrived home last night, after that emotional and frenetic day that so many of us have experienced in one way or another over these last few days, I found my son at home lying on the couch watching The Tonight Show. He hit pause and said, "Hey, Dad, you gotta see this. It's surreal. Jimmy Fallon is doing his monologue and doing his show without a live audience." And he was right. There he was, Jimmy Fallon, delivering his monologue while sitting at his desk, using these small little prompt cards that he unabashedly held in his hands, reading word for word most of the jokes. There were a few laughs from his band, The Roots, and from some of his stagehands, but the whole thing felt unbelievably awkward at best. I'm sure that his jokes would have been much funnier if he had had his live audience feeding off that energy that he magically brings to the stage each night. In the end, however, the opening segment was not nearly as funny as I know it could have been, as it should have been. And yet I have to tell you, I was so grateful for those few minutes that he was on, as grateful as I have been for anything else over these past few years. So let me tell you why. Jimmy began with the following words: "Like you, I'm watching the news, and I'm just as confused as you are. But what I do know is that when we're there for each other, we're at our very best. And I am here for you. We are here for you." I had no idea before that moment that Jimmy Fallon was such a wise Jewish scholar. But there he was, doing the absolute best he could to bring sparks of light into the darkness of night as people watched from their living rooms and from their bedrooms. Of course, he is absolutely right. What we've experienced, especially these past few days, is an evolution to what will be our new normal for at least the foreseeable future. So many of the aspects of our lives will change, at least for the short term. We will educate and learn differently. We will work differently, and we will be entertained and play differently. You know, it's so easy to focus on all that will change, all that we will need to give up. And yet, with challenges come opportunities. Opportunities to make a real difference in the lives of people, some who we know, and even in the lives of so many who we do not know. Opportunities to bring healing and wholeness and love to those around us by caring for each other, reaching out to one another, and do what it takes to be fully present, even if it's from 6 feet further away than we're used to. There's little doubt that each of us will need an extra measure of love, support, friendship, and caring, and many around us may even need more than that. The sacred work of doing and caring and loving will need to evolve just as everything around us is evolving at record pace. We will each have the opportunity to say, "I am here for you." And I know many, many among us will act in the way that brings God's presence to this world and to the people around us. Here at Beth Chaim, your lay leadership, your staff, and your clergy already are engaged in helping our community re-envision what we do as a community and how we do it. Everything from worship to study to pastoral care. We are seeking ways to connect with one another with warmth and kindness and support, all while maintaining the social distancing needed to protect health and safety. We can do this. We can find ways to do our part to bring sparks of light where they are needed, to whom they are needed. In the words of the rabbis of old, Im einani li mili, uksha'ani la'atzmi ma'ani, v'im lo achshav imatai. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am for myself alone, what am I? And if not now, when? Friends, there will be many opportunities in the days to come to answer the second question, if I am for myself alone, what am I? For the moment, however, we are here together, and out there, to those of you who are live streaming, together we're here to celebrate Shabbat. As I often say, Shabbat is the time when we are taught to set aside the balagan, the craziness of our lives, and instead envision a world that is safe and whole and filled with peace. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? In a few moments, we will begin our worship, and we will focus on the blessings we have in life, the love of family, the support of friends, the privilege of being part of sacred community, dedicated to being with one another in moments of need and in times of support. Shabbat is about you and me. It is about us refreshing ourselves, filling ourselves with hope and inspiration and love and energy. If not now, when? I will never forget my first Shabbaton as a volunteer in the Jewish addiction and recovery community. Jews of every stripe come together in one place to find a safe and welcoming space for those who are recovering from drug and alcohol addiction and other addictions. It's this unbelievably diverse group, from the ultra-observant Orthodox to the most secular Jews of all. And they all come together for Shabbat, and you can imagine there's this confluence of traditions and observances and an awkwardness, and yet such a desire for people to not only respect each other, but to connect each other in ways that they can't necessarily do in their own communities, to literally be able to give each other a hug. And yet, as you know, the ultra-Orthodox, the fully observant, men do not touch women and women do not touch men unless they're husband and wife. And so here I am in this room for the very first time. And what do? They walk over to each other and they do this. They give each other a hug without ever touching each other. And that's what I wish I could do with each of you today. For those of you who know me, I love to give hugs. And yet, we're now at that space in the Jewish value of pikuach nefesh, to value and protect health and safety, that we just can't do it. And so, here's what I say to each of you. Here's my hug. Here's my hug. To those of you out there, here's our hug. On behalf of Cantor Binder, Rabbi Blum, Ken Pogroff, our president, Ann Berman Waldorf, Mira, our staff and our lay leadership, in the words of that Talmud Chacham, that wise Talmud scholar, Jimmy Fallon, when we're there for each other, we're at our best. We are here for you. We are here with you. Let us be there for one another together. Shabbat Shalom. Friends, our service continues on page screen as we read together in the English. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and the days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide.
La 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 לך דודי, la 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 לקראת קלה, la 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 ונשמה, ונשמה לקבל, la 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 לך דודי, la 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 לקראת קלה, la 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 ונשמה, ונשמה Adonai echad, Shemo echad, V'negu tiferet, v'nitila. Yalalala lecha dodi, yalalala לקראת קלה, yalalala ונשמה, ונשמה לקראת שבת, ותורנך, היא בכל הברכה, מראש מכן, סוף מעשה מחשבה, תפילה. לקראת קלה, ילללה ונשמה, ונשמה תקבלה. אוי ושלום, עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה yalalala lecha dodi, yalalala לקראת קלה, yalalala ונשמה, ונשמה תקבל, yalalala lecha dodi, yalalala לקראת קלה, Ya la 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 B'nai Shabbat, B'nai Shabbat nekabela.
We remain standing as we continue with the reading. The Sabbath brings us the precious gift of time to embrace family and friends, to reflect more deeply on the meaning and purpose of our lives, and to worship in the beauty of holiness. May our Sabbaths always be sanctuaries of love and devotion, bringing contentment to our hearts, happiness to our homes, and blessing to our people.
Surrounding us daily with signs of your love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shemin baro mariv aravim, mariv aravim. Torah u'mitzvot u'kimun shmati otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbeinu u'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמי, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Together, the song of women and men joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, the gift of our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the songs of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים, את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Together, dear God, open the blocked passageways to you, the congealed places. Roll away the heavy stone from the well as your servant Jacob did when he beheld his beloved Rachel. Help us open the doors of trust that have been jammed with hurt and rejection. As you open the blossoms in spring, even as you open the heavens in storm, open us to feel your great, awesome, wonderful presence. We rise together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר, מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, בחיי הכל אתה רב והושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו בשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחייך, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמנתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. As we continue together, as the seventh day is set apart from other days, so are we set apart from other creatures to walk with God as it has been written. When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you have established, what are we that you are mindful of us? What are we mortals that you care for us? Yet you made us little less than divine and crowned us with the glory and honor. And together again, you are with us in our prayer, in our love and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, and pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service.
Well, it's been quite a week. And yet there's still so much to be thankful for. And so at this time in the service, if there is anyone who is particularly grateful for something, please let us know. And we'll say, Modim anachnu lach, we give thanks to you. Yes. With family here. All right. For family, Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu lach. Yes. All right. Any others? A remote school. Yes. Ah. Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu lach. You had more? Ah. Okay. You got one too? All right. I think we all are. All right, so one last time together. Modim anachnu lach, Modim anachnu lach.
First for shalom and then for shlemut. Our next two prayers come from the same root, shin lamed mem. Shalom meaning a wholeness of the world, a perfection, a vision of what the world could be if you and I together partner with God to make this world fulfill its potential. Then later shlemut for the same, for the wholeness of each individual. Please join us in our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha, Sim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha, Sim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha, Sim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha, Sim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha, Sim Leolam, Sim Leolam, Sim Leolam.
We continue with silent prayer and meditation.
Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Vekoali, Vekoali.
And prayers for shlemut, for wholeness of body, of mind, and of spirit. On this Shabbat, our prayers are with so many among us, our family, our friends throughout our community and the world who are in need of healing. We ask that God's presence will be with each of them as they move towards a refuah shlema. We pray to a speedy and a complete recovery. On this Shabbat, our prayers are with Rhoda Schwartz, Arlene Grable, Teddy Molaski, Nathan Hecker, Claire Meyer, William Jacosola, Steve Bizanov, Marion Berman, Mary Jantis, Ginny Gittleman, Matt Nelson, Betty Abramowitz, and with those who we invite you to add to our list, should you wish, that we may join together with you in prayer. May all whose names have been said aloud, those who remain in our hearts, and all others come to know God's blessing, God's love, and God's strength. As together we join with one voice in a prayer for healing.
Refainu Adonai v'nerachem, Hoshienu v'nivasheach, El karov lechol koram, Akarov l'reat yishor. We pray for healing of the body, we pray for healing of the soul, and strength of flesh and mind and spirit.
Friends, we rise together as we join with one voice in Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה ארץ, ומושב עיקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
As our minds now turn towards our loved ones who are no longer with us, we pause for a moment to remember our own loved ones. Perhaps we're about to say their name aloud. Perhaps it's not someone who officially observes the anniversary of their death tonight, but their values and their ideals continue to inspire us, and we need to turn to them for comfort and to love, for their memories to continue to bring blessing. So as we do, we invite you to take a moment for silent reflection, to remember your loved ones, to allow their values and ideals to inspire you as we prepare to honor their memories. As we say aloud the name of a loved one, we invite you to stand with the name mentioned so that we may honor those who touched our lives during their lives. We continue in the period of Shiva, the 7 days since death, as we recall with love Phyllis Fiegel, the grandmother of Andrea Edwards, and Vincent Pucciati, the father of Joseph Pucciati, grandfather of Rachel. On this Shabbat, we continue in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days since death, as we remember and honor Lawrence Gordon, the brother of Joel Gordon, Alan Gerstel, the uncle of Lisa Jasper, Henry Eisenberg, the grandfather of Marissa Messenger, Marion Sherman, the mother of Jeff Grable, Walter H. Lieberman, the father of Sharon Dauber, Shivia L. Gerhardt, the mother of Jim Gerhardt, Richard Pearl, the husband of Arlene Mulry Pearl, stepfather of Hillary and Michael. We also announce with sadness the passing this past week of Suzanne Williamson, a loved one of Livia and Rafael Ruiz, and Anita Hammond, the aunt of Don Leibowitz. On this Shabbat, we honor the memories of our loved ones whose anniversary of their yahrzeit of their passing is observed this Shabbat. So we recall Linda Trott, Stanley Trott, Mark Liederman, Clara Schenkman-Wolf, David Weissman, Ernest Weinrich, Nettie Goldblatt, Hyman Haight, Ruth Sacken Coleman, Lester Coleman, Miriam Haria, Herman Harris, Rose Ostrovsky, Joseph Ehrman, Michael Jasper, Abraham Hildenbrand, Martin Kalstein, Muriel Katz, Howard Katz, Ida Karyevsky, Estelle White, Faye Fagel Levine, Morris Mann, Ernest Schmaltz, Tussie Nagler, Lillian Badak, Rose Orbach, Louis Prustfelder, Paula S. Richter, Minnie Schaefer, Lillian Rosenauer, Joseph Friedman, Francine Ellen Sheffield, Ruth Rothman, Jennifer Lynn Pruden, Helen Trink, Leona Watov, Eileen Davidson, George Deutsch, Stephen Schiffer, Donald Fishberg, Nathan Husak, Thelma Konowitz, Beatrice Garfunkel, Albert Small. If there's anyone else observing Shiva Shloshim or a Yartzeit, we invite you to please stand if the name has not yet been mentioned, that we may join you in recalling your loved one. In loving honor of all whose names have been said aloud, those who remain in our hearts, and all who no longer have anyone to recall their memory, we invite the congregations to stand together along with our mourners as an act of love and support, as together we share the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach yehutzei v'yamlich malchutzei, v'chaye echon v'yomei echon, v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalav v'zman kari v'imru. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lomei al-maya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei d'kedusha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechumata, damiran ba'alma v'imru. Yehei Shalom Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu b'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu b'al kol Yisrael v'imru. May the one who created harmony and high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to this entire world, as together we say. Please be seated.
Joining the ranks of them, I will say personally that I'm very, very humble and grateful that I'm part of a small part of the service this evening. And congratulations to all of them. As a community, we are guided by the principle of Koach Refesh. We're preserving the gift of life. The health and safety of our families is always our primary concern. We know you saw some of our new protocols in the lobby when you walked in, ways we're working to make sure that we as a community take precautions to help halting the spread of the coronavirus. Purell is on the table. There are ample soap in our bathrooms. We ask that you do not hug, but rather that we greet each other with an elbow bump, a wave, or a smile. We want to make sure that we minimize risks at our own egg. You'll see that the sweets have been placed on individual plates with the fruit in cups. We ask that you take a plate and only touch your food. We have volunteers wearing gloves who will assist you with coffee or a cold beverage. Our sympathies are with those who are sick. We wish them a speedy recovery. And as we join our brothers and sisters around the world who have welcomed in Shabbat, we add our prayers to theirs that this disease will soon be contained.
So to show you just how quickly things are changing, those were the announcements of Britain this morning. In order to take additional precautions, we will have an oneg to go this evening, which will be handed out by our ushers. I want to first and foremost extend our thanks to Wendy and to Todd, and to the entire family. We know that with this simcha comes some additional challenges that have not been faced, at least in our generation, for your flexibility, for your understanding, for knowing that our love, not for a first generation or even a second generation, but for a third generation BethChaim family, we want to honor you and celebrate with you. We would love to gather together on an oneg and give each other hugs that are a little bit more than this. But please understand, some of this is prescribed and some of this is a reminder to us to take care of us and to seize that opportunity. So for your flexibility, to everyone's flexibility, thank you so much. Our concluding song, Adonai Oz, is found in the same place that the opening reading was. Please join with us.
Adonai Oz Lamo Yitain, Adonai Oz Lamo Yitain, Adonai Oz Lamo Yitain, Adonai Yivarech et Amo, Adonai Yivarech et Amo, Shalom, Adonai Yivarech et Amo, Shalom, Adonai Oz Lamo Yitain, Adonai Oz Lamo Yitain, Adonai Oz Lamo Yitain, Adonai Yivarech et Amo.
We invite Robin and her family to please come up for Motzi. Please join as we rise together. Please join us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Eternal God, we stand before you in thanksgiving for all of our blessings in life, for the love of family, for the support of friends, for the strength that comes from being part of sacred community, where we're dedicated to looking out for one another in moments of need and in times of celebration. For all these things, eternal God, we give you our thanks and our praise. As we ask that your blessing will be upon us, upon our friends, our community, and throughout the world on Shabbat and the days to come.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha.
May God bless us and protect us.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's countenance shine upon us and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's eyes remain focused upon us. And may God bless us, our people, and all peoples of this world with God's greatest gift of all, the gift of peace.
Amen.
From Cantor Binder and me, from our families, from all of us, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.